Jerome, what's happening, Jerome?
What's up, player? How you doing?
You already know what it is, man. Living
How,
life,
how many
living
minutes
up.
we got?
You know what I'm
How many
saying?
minutes we got?
Oh, till we on? We on?
Yeah, just give us a minute, man. Let everybody get in. Let everybody get in.
Did it populate?
Oh, it loading up. You loading up.
Oh, no, we on.
We
It
live.
populate.
Man,
Yeah,
I don't know
we
how to
on.
put it. I ain't put it live to my damn. I do it later.
It's all good.
Go ahead, Jerome. I just wanted
All right,
to
hold on a
get
second.
back in, man.
Hold on 1 second.
I
I'll
was
say, okay, we on? Okay, what's up, Facebook family? We on again on this Friday night. The topic for today is just July 4th has just passed. I don't know, a lot of y'all probably celebrated. But we're going to talk about from the perspective of the year 1776. We got special guests on. But as always, my disclaimer, whatever we talk about, whatever we say, whatever we speak on is our opinions. Please don't believe anything that we tell you. Research it for yourself. Find the truth for yourself. Come back, let's build and go forward. We got well, we'll let our guests do what they do every time, and we're just gonna get into it. What's up, B?
Yeah, what's good? What's good, y'all? It's Brother Brian, aka that Silverback. Yeah, we're gonna touch on some. We're gonna bring a little bit of history, a little bit of knowledge. You know, some people might know, some people might not know. But I like the way we getting back. We took a 2-week break. I don't like doing breaks no more because we kind of get away from what we're doing. So we back. What's up, Tut?
Peace. What it is, man? King Tut in the building, man. Representing them 5 letters. You know what I'm saying? Speaking that 5 language. You know what I'm saying?
All right. It's the 3-headed monster, y'all. We back, and we got a special guest. Well, actually, he ain't really a guest no damn more. He might.
I'm furniture now, huh? You just gonna make me furniture, huh? I'm
Coach.
I'm furniture.
Hey, how you root for the coach? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we just do what we do. But halito everyone. Yeah, I'm Coach Crew Cut Bridges on Facebook, and I'm just here. Chop it over with these brothers. Happy to be here.
That's what's up. What's up, B? Where we going?
Yo, let's understanding this whole 1776, this whole July the 4th, and understanding everything after that. Now, we have to really, truly understand what is July 4th, independence from England control after the Revolutionary War, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows. Everybody's celebrating. But at the same time, everybody have to understand is us people, indigenous people, because I got Coach on. I don't want Coach to come out my neck. I ain't
Oh
gonna
no, you good. You speak your talk. You good.
But I mean, I have to talk to the language that us black people, was not free of anything. We were still under this bondage of our land being taken away from us, under basically, you can say prisoners of war, because we just celebrated Juneteenth, which was us being free of slavery. With that whole Emancipation Proclamation, that's a whole different story. We'll talk about that on another show. But at the same time, we have to understand what's really going on, because we're not free. It's still a stronghold there, but we just don't know nothing about. But it's a lot about this 1776, because we still got to figure out who's running the country, what was going on, because you really don't get the first president. The first president don't come into George Washington, which is what, 1789? So what the hell was going on between them years? They don't teach you that in history, but we quickly to celebrate Independence Day. Yay, fireworks, which I still don't understand what the fuck the fireworks got to do with anything. But
hey, we used to have them firecracker wars though, man. That was the shit though. I can't. I can't front though. Them firecracker wars was the shit, man. I mean, it wasn't nothing like it. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
know they steal other people's culture, so
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, once they get a
right.
whiff of somebody else, they got to figure out a way to incorporate it into what they got going on.
True
So
indeed. True indeed. Goes into that magic. You know what I'm saying? We've been fucking with them sparklers. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny, because I do remember them damn firecracker wars that we used to have between all different parts of the
oh,
class.
y'all talking about them Roman candlesticks shooting them across the street
all
over
of
each
it,
other?
all of it, man, all of it, man. We children of the sun, we children of the fire. You know what I'm saying? We know all about that. You know what
Listen,
I'm saying?
So who gonna jump in? Anybody want to go in? Because now we got to understand the first thing that we're dealing with is the Articles of Confederation, which went on for shit until 1789. So this is where a lot of history that nobody teaches, nobody says anything about. The Declaration of Independence is not even signed. This is basically the Articles of Confederation is the first Declaration of Independence for the so-called United States. The 13 colonies borrowed land that they was on because
Hey,
we didn't give them shit. But don't let me start this because, I don't want to be considered something that I'm not because I'm not racist. I'm pro-black. I stand up for my people. I stand up for my indigenous people. But go ahead, Tut. I know you itching. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm itching, man. I'm itching, man, because I go straight for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? I swing knockout punches from the rip. So like the whole foundation, you know what I'm saying, of them creating America was they had us dumb enough. You know what I'm saying? They had us dumb enough. We was far away from our language, you know what I mean? And we didn't know ourselves or our own origins. And they was able to establish their nation then, to basically sum it up. We were dumb enough. We was further away from ourselves, We didn't know our origin, our native language. We couldn't speak our native dialect. And they mixed us up, you know what I'm saying, taking us from one part to another, and they had us crazy enough, basically.
I mean, that is a lot of brainwashing because you got to understand they had at least 100 years of understanding of what was going on, of this whole slavery movement or the taking of the indigenous land, these retarded treaties that they was somewhat doing. But I mean, what we call slavery then, the first, we can't really put a number on when slavery kind of started in America. Let me make sure I say America because slavery in Africa and, that's a whole different story. Even talking about Europe when we talking about feudalism, which they don't like to say slavery, but that's the same thing. But to understanding that we people of melanated skin, how about I say that? We always been here. This is our land. So this is not independence from anything. It's independence from us being, like you say, mentally us being who we were. We was taken out of our conscious state and become indoctrinated into another state. That's when the whole thing goes. But go ahead.
That's another thing. I remember. I'm gonna quote the RZA. The RZA said, the Wu always. I love the Wu. They say some sharp stuff, but he says they turned God to dog and made people search hard.
well, God is a Germanic word, and that is what it means. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
dogmatic word. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a dogmatic word, you know what I'm saying? But the concept of it, they had us searching for something other than ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We were native to this land, and we understood our relationship to us and nature. You know what I mean? We understood how to keep and protect our mothers. Our Mother Earth. We knew how to keep and protect our lands. You know what I mean? So they made us. They reversed us from what we was. You know what I'm saying? Into what they created.
So the Mother Earth, that means it was a matriarch system, right? They
Yes.
got rid of the
Fact.
matriarch, and then all this Jesus, Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. There's still no feminine energy nowhere in there. They just crushed the matriarch. And now it's time to give it. Now you see the matriarch is more gangster than the brothers on the street. I'm serious. I'm alive. You'll see the females go up top real quick before a brother will.
Yeah.
So it didn't change because we not doing what we supposed to do. Most of us are arrested, locked up, not at home with the kids, doing something that or gay. Let's go and get straight with it. There's a lot of brothers out here gay now. I ain't gay, but I'm saying there's a lot of them out here. So we losing. We are losing. We're losing.
Yeah, when they make us other than ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We don't know, as a man, many men don't know themselves. Like you said, a lot of brothers is locked up. You know, a lot of brothers is dead. You know, rest in peace to them. You know, and a lot of brothers just go through the struggle, man. It's even drug abuse. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's going on, don't you, Tut?
You know, so it's a mental warfare to where man, he's got to conquer himself. You know what I'm saying? And these younger guys, they have no definition of themselves to even know who they are. You know, and you know it's brothers like us who got to keep continuing pounding into their head. You know, and also letting the women see what real men are. You know what I mean? Because some of these little like you say, these little shiesty boys, little punk boys run up. You know what I'm saying? They switching batters and shit. You know. A woman, we an example. So they need to see what a real man is. Even you know, that's what I hate to speak. I don't even want to speak on that. Someone, you know what I'm saying? I can't exploit some real G stuff, you know. But the survival of the fittest, you know what I mean? That's what it's for, you know. Even in natural selection, in the pecking order of nature, you know, two animals would fight for the woman, you know what I mean? So it's survival of the fittest, man, and the strong survive. So the weak shall be cast away, you know, because if you with that weak, you can't come with the real man. You don't know what the man definition is, and it need to be taught. Then you know we got to stand up, and these women had to see that. You know, these women had to see that. And ain't enough of us men. I mean, you know, we doing our part, but it ain't enough of us. You know, most of them, they find other vices so they ain't got to stand up to the plate and swing. I ain't never scared, man. I didn't, you know, I come from the Tupac thug life era, and so that made me a warrior mentally and physically, you know. So a lot of this era, you know, the genre of music, you know.
Don't you think that set us up for where we at today now?
Excuse me?
That music that we was jamming to back in the 60s, it set us up for where we at right now.
No,
yeah. True indeed.
Hold up, set us up in what way though?
Well, if you listen to something long enough, you become what you listen.
True indeed.
Talking about in the 90s. Talking about in the 90s.
Talking about in the 90s.
The 90s set us up. Yeah, the 90s. Now the 60s, the 70s were telling us. The 60s and 70s were telling us.
Yeah, I agree with that. Gangster rap.
Yeah, but we still had a lot of good music back then.
No. What was good? Listen, man. I listened to it too, man. But I gotta keep it with the truth versus what I was enjoying because that's what was going on. That was our era. You get what I'm saying? But if I go back and listen to Tupac now, oh no.
Yeah.
That's why I can't do that. My boys can't. I don't want them listening to that. If I don't want them listening to what they listening to now, I can't be like listening to what I was listening to. You think that's any better?
I would.
A-Ball and MJG talking about smacking up, drown in the tub, rubber dub, some get whipped and fall into a love bud, buying this, buying that. You get what I'm saying? Like them lyrics there set us up for where we at now.
Right. Right.
Ball
Right.
and G talking about beating females, pimping them, taking their money, all kind of stuff. And we can say that's good music?
Right. So now the real comeback in the music now is this jazz movement. Like, you know, these brothers coming
Anything
out with
good.
some of
Yeah, the brothers need to play music. That's
yeah,
just
they
like we
playing
go
music,
back
they
to
got
the
bands, yeah,
1700s. When we go
yeah.
back to the 1700s, I was looking for an article that I had from the other day that I didn't do the build on, but the bill was about John Colcock. Y'all heard this dude before? Have anybody ever heard of him? So first, everybody showed this book called How to Make a Negro Christian. So when
Yeah.
I was getting into this book, and I'm like, hold on, this book, Negro Christian, something ain't right about it. So it really wasn't nothing that I can stand on. So I was like, this ain't right. So then I'm looking at the book. I didn't read the book. It's only 71 pages long. So then as I'm digging in there, and then you find the man who wrote the book. See, the man who wrote How to Make a Negro Christian is some Hotep brother, some brother that's with the Hotep, and you know. But he took the book from the Negroes and other works from Dr. Reverend Charles Colcock. Now, this dude here, he wrote a book, and it goes, thank you, sir. Thank you. It was like some instructions. Oh, the religious instructions of the Negroes in the United States. Now, I got to reading that book, and I'm like, oh man. By the time I get to another chapter, you go about 5, 6 chapters, paragraphs in, it's that deep. Your whole body gonna go, oh man. So he tells you what I'm telling everybody today, and I didn't even pay attention back in the day when I first read the book. I didn't even pay it no attention. I just reread it the other day. I already read it before, but I just reread it, refresh. And they was talking about the Negroes that was enslaved. So we talking about, they showing how many came over here, where did they go? You really need to check that book out. So you can get it online for free. So as I'm getting into the book, they showing towns with like 950 Negroes, and then it might be like 500 white people, and then it might be like 80 free black people or freedmen or something like that. So I'm like, you got a town full of niggas, only a few, excuse me, y'all, a town full of us.
Man, B, just keep it real.
Okay, all right. Reason why I say it's a reason why I say Negro, but anyway, so they was known as Indians when the Pilgrim got here, right? So the Pilgrim get here, he called them Indians. First, you had Indian slavery. Before you had any African slavery over here, I'm talking about on this side, you had the Indian slavery. Once that American Indian got enslaved, guess what they called them?
Negro.
Take a good guess.
Negro.
And when they got out of servitude, because they just did a servitude. When they got out of servitude, guess what they called them? Indian. No, Indian. So they was living their lives as Indian. When the white folks got here, there's some Indians over here. You know what I'm saying? So then the Indian slavery, I don't know how we got into slavery at that point. You have to holler at Tasha She's very good at that, breaking that part down for you. But with the Indian slavery, you can show before the Atlantic slave trade, you had millions of slaves already during the Indian slavery. Georgia was more like a prison state.
Right.
Okay. So the Indians, when they was being servants or went and got a job, when they started working for folks, or went to start working for folks in their house, I don't even say slavery, when they went and worked for folks, they was called Negroes. And then after they did their servitude or whatever the contract was at the time, they would go back to being Indians again.
Oh, they was indentured servants.
Right. Right. Indentured servants. Right. So even you had the ones working the fields, because how would anybody from anywhere on the planet that don't know nothing about this Western hemisphere come over here and tell you how to plant anything? They can't do it. You can't do it.
Right.
I can't go to Africa and be like, oh man, I'm about to grow this herb over here. You think it's gonna work? They don't have seasons like we have. They don't have dirt like we have. It's not gonna fly.
A lot of people don't like to hear that because most everybody we've been indoctrinated to believe that
Well, I just had to come with the facts. That's it. You can look it up and look at how was they able to bring millions of slaves over here when they was having problem bringing 5 to 10 over here a boat. They weren't bringing them on a 5 to 10 slaves a boat. Somebody need to go back and do their math again.
Right.
But to try to get back to, you know, this whole, and that's what the thing about it is, who you getting the independence from? Because we
may not independence. What?
Like
somebody said earlier,
kings and queens. We are kings and queens, man.
I don't even say that, Tut, because king and queens was an Eastern Hemisphere theory. Like,
well, not exactly. Not exactly. It's a universal theory. It's a universal understanding. Okay, so the same language that was spoke on the Eastern Hemisphere was spoke on the Western Hemisphere.
Well, we traded with them. But we didn't have a king and queen system. We had this. We had a very complex system with Congress and Senates, and this is our system. People don't say. See, people be like, "Wait a minute, these folks came over here and enforced this government on these folks and brought us over here as slaves and that." No, you go down there to them, to like Central America, and go check out how they had it. Oh no, the Iroquois even had it to where they had it ways where they can get corrupt officials out. They had it set up to where, I want to think, what's the name of it? The Great, man, I got it right at the tip of my tongue. Great Law of Peace, not Great Law of Peace. I think that's it. But I get it. It'll come back to me. But anyway, yeah, we had a very complex system, and when the Pilgrim got here, he was intrigued on how our system was. So, how you think we was able to so-called come out of slavery, run up the board on all? We so smart to where we can run all these political parties. You got the Reconstruction, you got all these brothers, and then all of a sudden, somebody had to be know something. Somebody had to be smart. You owned all this land, so they had to. We owned a lot and we lost it just that short. Everybody keeps screaming this 400 years shit, but we really just lost it. We just lost it.
Right. So a writing system, a complex writing system.
No, a complex governing system.
Right. So a complex. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. A complex writing system is going to establish a complex government. You understand what I'm saying? So this intellect was known universally of a bureaucracy, of a hierarchy, of an understanding. That's what the pyramid represents. It represents an organizational structure. You understand what I'm saying? This was a universal language that was spoke from hemisphere to hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? So the Phoenician was crafted with establishing this universal intellect of a higher way of thinking. So the languages that we speak here in America is an Indo-European language. You know what I'm saying? It's an offshoot. It's like
you saying that they came over here and this whole country turned their language to the way them folks was talking? You think 20 people changed the language, 1,000 people changed the language of millions of people?
No. What they did was usurp the language. Okay, for example, let's say me and you speak Phoenician, right?
I speak Muskogee.
Listen what I'm saying. Me and you speak Phoenician, and we have a higher intellect from us speaking Phoenician to where when we writing this stuff, it takes us on the mothership. You understand what I'm saying?
So Phoenicians come over here, and you got the Aboriginal people here like the Muskogee.
They are the Aboriginal. That's what I'm saying. So
the
this
Muskogees,
is the original language from man, from his manifestation on earth. When the first man was able to write his motherfucking name, you know what I'm saying? He was able to write and show a complex writing system from the first form of writing. And this form of writing circumnavigated the planet. You know what I'm saying? This higher intellect, that's why it's pyramids everywhere.
So you're talking about the hieroglyphs on the walls was the first time folks started writing from pictures.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
If you listen what I'm saying now, and you'll get a clear picture. Okay, listen what I'm saying. If you're Phoenician and I'm Phoenician, okay, we speaking the Phoenician language, right? You understand?
I'm listening.
And we are speaking consonants and thoughts from our consonants and our letters and our words, you know, to where we're drawing pictures in our minds when we speak. You understand what I'm saying? A higher intellect and way of speaking. Now, me and you are Phoenician, and let's say another brother comes in speaking an offshoot of our language. He's got the right sounds in his voice, making the consonants, you know what I'm saying? But he done said the language to a way that we can't really pick it up because our resonance and our thought pattern isn't that low. You understand what I'm saying? Are you following me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
So when he comes to us, he can know what we're saying, but we can't really put together what he's saying too good. You know what I'm saying? Because his language is an offshoot of ours, but we don't know what the hell he's saying. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, that's the same thing when you got Spanish, French, and Italian.
Exactly, because they're Indo-European languages. Exactly. So therefore, while we speak in this kingly language of intelligent thought, to where we write in them pictographs and higher thought of the mothership, and so another one speaking a great-great-grandson language of ours, to where he's picking up some consonants and making some sounds that's resonating to our ears, but we don't really know what he's saying. And so he creates a whole system based on his way of speaking. It'll confuse the fuck out of me and you, Coach.
So you saying, wait, hold on. So when the Pilgrims got here, we didn't understand nothing they were saying. Just hit me out. We didn't understand nothing they were saying. They couldn't pronounce our words. They couldn't even say our words.
Facts.
So are we the ones that you're talking about? Because the way I see it, you got the King's language, you got the mother tongue, you got the mother tongue, and then you got what they call broken broken English, or other words, huh?
Is it pig Latin?
Yeah, Geechee or whatever they call it. I don't even know the word. I don't even know the term of the language, but it's broken English, or however you want to call it. Might be pig. I don't know.
Jump in.
So we spoke multiple languages when them folks came over here speaking the King's language. They came over here speaking the King's language. Oh, right. my lord. They didn't understand nothing we were saying.
Right.
So we damn sure don't talk like that.
Right.
This day we still don't talk like that. That's why I always keep, when you say we speak English, it's like, go to England. They still gonna look at you like, what? It's just not the same. Come on, Jerome, man, you too quiet, man. Jump in, man.
My bad, I forgot I had it muted. I was talking, I was like, well, whatever. But now, I mean, language is it's a science to itself. I mean, you know, the base syntax of all the languages in Europe, you know, they come from a African dialect. But I mean, language, like, it's more regional. You know, even here in the Americas, as Coach would tell you with the indigenous, you know, there was different languages among indigenous people just because of regional. You know, the dialects are going to change. But what I want to get to, Brian, in the 1770s, what did America look like?
Ooh. Ooh. That's a good one because it makes you wonder what America looked like. Because what you talking about, what we've been taught or what we've been studying to become?
No. Yeah, no, I'm saying what was truth. What's truth? Coach.
Coach, it's our land.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Because
Tell us
Coach.
what I say Jerome don't like.
Tell
Because
us
I
what
would
it-
say
tell us
this,
what it look
I
like,
would say it
Jerome.
was Morris land. I would say it's Morris land.
Oh
Tell us what
man,
it look
don't
like,
do that.
Jerome.
I told you.
If this was Moorish
I
land, we'll be in
told you.
Spain some goddamn well.
Right,
Africa. We'll be in Africa somewhere.
Tell us what it look like, Jerome.
I think you know, everybody has their school of thought on what it looked like, but obviously, from every European that came over to our world, you know, they told you what it looked like. You know, they told you the copper colored people. They told you, you know, what the indigenous people look like. It's just for us to believe.
DeSoto said they looked like some Ethiopians when he went up through there.
That's
Then
exactly what he said.
And when he came through Georgia, he was like, "These folks too big for us to fuck with them. We gonna be cool. We gonna be nice to these folks."
Right.
So we let them folks stay for a night. The next day, we was like, "Y'all got to go." They left. They went
Right.
up. They went up in South Carolina. They came over across through Tennessee. Well, when they got over about Alabama, Mississippi, over there to the Chickasaw, the story is now, you know, their story, you know, their history says that while that they was camping, they was trying to get some rest or whatever, and some Indians attacked them while they were sleeping. And after that, they burnt the whole village down, supposedly killing thousands of Indians. And it was 600 that came with DeSoto. And when DeSoto went back, DeSoto died as well. He died from measles or something. He had got sick.
Yeah.
But only 300 made it back. Only half of the crew made it back. So, you know, there you go with the he say, she say stories. No phones, no pictures, no nothing. So, you know, but they do have his, you know, with DeSoto described the people as he first seen them. And he said they look like us.
Right.
Broad, tall, big, dark skin, long curly hair, about show. You know, he was talking about us all day. No.
But we got to understand, it's only 13 colonies. It's everything around that.
Wait a minute. A lot of those colonies wasn't even all the way colonies then. You got to remember that they were still making colonies.
No.
This is when they were changing the language and creating their government. When in 1776 is when they said, we've got them dumb enough. We've usurped them. We've made our laws. We've created our strategies. We've implemented our language. We've confused them. It's time now to create an independence from the East, the West, and from the West from itself.
They didn't get to the West till 1900s.
That's what I'm saying. From the East to the West, I'm talking about from the Eastern Hemisphere. It was a East-West and North-South confusion that was put upon us.
I got you. But you remember that. Always remember this. When in America, we talking about America.
Right.
The Indian Wars went on all the way well into the 1900s.
Right.
So we were still fighting come 1900s. Okay.
Right.
So, it's just a whole different ball game now. It's like you got a whole bunch of $5 Indians. You got a lot of folks that's native Indians and now trying to be the Aboriginal people. But when you talk to them, say, hey, where was y'all at in Georgia? They can't say nothing. Where was y'all at in Florida? They can't say nothing. That's how you get them off the rip.
Exactly.
Because they know they didn't build nobody's mound nowhere.
Right.
I mean, they'll tell you that.
Right. So
they will tell you that.
So that there. Go ahead.
How you feel about this new? I mean, I know we're gonna go off topic. How you feel about Oklahoma? That new law or
Murphy. It's called the Murphy case.
how you feel about them getting half of Oklahoma back?
That's awesome. The Indians getting their land. Why not? You can't be mad at that. Even no matter what, anything dealing with Indians getting their stuff back. Now you got to prove who you are and get yourself right, so you can be getting what you need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the American Indians, and a lot of people don't know it. I can't go down there by myself talking about I'm an American Indian. Them folks gonna kick me out, probably kick my behind and do whatever they want to do to me. But if I go down there 1, 2, 10 million strong, and they just not going off of what somebody told them. Now this is where it gets serious. They're not going off what nobody told them. Everybody got their own paperwork. This my family. This my family right here. You get what I'm saying? Now, you do that, and you got proof, and you got millions of people saying, well, what I'm telling y'all now, you got millions of people that went back and did their homework and said, yo, ain't no African here. My grandmama was part of this tribe. My grandma was part of this tribe. My grandma was part of this tribe. You remember, every person on this planet goes to a tribe somewhere. You do know this, right?
Right.
Everybody belongs to a tribe or tribes.
Right.
So we can't ignore our Indian ancestry. If everybody has Indian in there, if they great grandmama them Indians, you can't ignore that. You just gonna dump the Indian off the family just to be African when you got all this great land right here that every person on the planet is trying to get to? Is you crazy? You gonna ignore your existence of your own bloodline just over a story that someone else told us?
Right.
And that's how they got us.
Coach, somebody asked a question for you. What's your take on DC becoming a state?
Well, I never really thought about it because,
they mess up if they do.
Huh?
They will mess up if they do.
The whole country?
No. If DC becomes a state, it's completely gonna mess up.
Why?
Mess up the power.
Yeah, what would that change?
Don't they have a mayor? Don't they have a mayor in DC right now?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a mayor, DC, but that's a District of Columbia.
So that means they got to bring a whole new branch of people then, don't they? They're going to need a governor. They're going to need a attorney, a general attorney. They got to get all that, right?
They got a lot of work.
They got an attorney general.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the federal though. That's the head.
Right.
That's not.
But that's because it's a federal district.
Yeah, DC is a federal district. It's not no state. So DC is the home of,
right. So now they want to be a state.
It's the headquarters of America.
But
what I'm saying.
So they want to be a state so they can have their own laws and do their own thing and don't be just stuck to federal jurisdictions, I guess.
What they're trying to do, and this is just my opinion, it's 3 places on earth: the Vatican or Vatican City, Washington D.C., and the city of London. They don't hold to a country. They're their own province. They're their own district. They're their own place.
They're their own country. Basically.
Right. But your state is your own country. Each state in America is its own nation. It's its own country. It's its own. So they got their own rules and laws and regulations in every state here. So it don't.
But people don't really understand that. That's why people in Texas, they know that's the Republic of Texas. People in Virginia know it's the Commonwealth of Virginia. But most people don't understand that they're their own, the United States. So you're uniting states. They don't even understand the word when they say United States.
75% of us is there.
But
right.
Because each state has its own law.
I have no like the word black. The only reason why I be bucking because it lumps everybody together. It takes away who you are individually, and it gets rid of all your culture.
Well, black means nothing anyway. Black has no power anyway.
I'm just saying it takes away your culture, and it takes away from you and who you truly are by putting you and label you a color.
But see, this is why I wanted to try to break down the first 12 years of America, just because of the United States, not of America, the United States. Because under the Articles of Confederation, the states had more power than the federal.
Right. And they sold it over.
Well, until the feds come and take over, until the feds can overpower anything that they want to.
No, not then they couldn't. Not then they couldn't until they actually came with the Declaration of Independence and Washington becomes the first president of the United States.
So you saying now these folks are supposed to be protected after 1776, right?
Who? Who's they? They, yes.
We talking about Congress. I mean, just political people, period.
Yeah, but you got to understand, Congress only had 13 people, so it ain't like they had a ton of people in the damn.
Okay, so they made sure when nothing happened to them people though, right? Because they was over here. You had legislature. You know, they didn't let nothing happen to them guys, correct?
True.
So what happened to the protection of when the Negroes got in office?
Right.
Yeah, that's.
You gotta remember, after the war, they took all the federal protection out of them southern states and just let them do whatever the hell they wanted to do.
I mean, that's when they created the Ku Klux Klan.
Democratic Party, and then they kicked you out of office and created what? Jim Crow laws. So you guys can't get back in office.
Exactly.
I see a lawsuit. Fuck a reparation. I want a suit.
Exactly. And you know, that's already documented. They said in court that the Democratic Party created the Ku Klux Klan. That's a matter of
everybody know that.
But I'm saying it's a matter of record.
Why you think they fight so hard at them Republican rallies when they see Negroes coming out?
Exactly.
They be like, get your black ass out of, because they know we the people. They know if you get back, see, we got a lot of people going for Republican Party positions right now, right? So if we start getting back into these positions, right, they know that with the old Republican Party, you might as well call it what Phoenix called it, the Reconstruction Part 2. And now we ain't gonna let you come bluff us out of this time.
And it says on your dollar bill, in God we trust. So in us, we must trust. In us, we must know who we are. You know what I'm saying? They know when they came here and formed the government, they took it from us.
They didn't form it. They just, they didn't form nothing. They just
took it from us.
They just mimicked what we had and kept it pushing.
They stole everything. You know what I'm saying? They stole it all. You know what I mean?
Let me jump in there, Ted.
Excuse me?
Let me jump in there with you.
Go ahead.
Because 1776, you know, the picture of it, you know, when you were talking about these colonies, Coach is extremely right when he's talking about they were forming. Because it wasn't even all Britain. You know, you had Germany, they had their colonies. Then you had you know, France was wanting to get in. You know, you had
they got in.
Yeah. Everybody was trying to get in. So it was a formulation on a system that was already here. That was the first time they integrated, Brian.
That's right. And you know what they had to do? All of them had to agree.
Right.
See, that's what they had to do. They all had to agree. That was the only way we failed, because all the other nations were like, because, you know, they didn't take Georgia to 1815, 1817. You remember Andrew Jackson, he became president because he won them wars in Georgia.
Right.
The Indian Wars, the Black Wars, if you will.
Right.
That's what he called it.
Right.
Hey, man. Hey, that Andrew Jackson, man. If you vote Democrat.
That's a day right there. Just
Huh?
talking about him as a whole.
Man, Andrew Jackson, and man, that's like the godfather of Democrats. You get what I'm saying? Like, and if I can get this to my elders, because our elders are stuck on Democrats. They are not voting for nothing Republican. I'm like, hold on, ho. Do you remember a dude named Andrew Jackson that wanted to take you off your land and make you go out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, I mean, he did do it.
No, he did not. I mean, everybody didn't go. You just got declassified.
Right.
You lost your rights and became Negro, black, and colored.
Now you're non-descendable.
Black law.
Ooh, that boy said non-descendable. Look up that word, everybody that's watching this, that comes back. Look up non-descendable.
Word.
Yes, sir.
Look that up. That's some heavy shit.
Real
And
heavy.
also look up blackbirding. Look that up too.
Yeah, blackbirding.
Word.
That's right. Look up blackbirding. And that'll throw out a lot. That will put a lot in your head and let you know that we are really from here. I'm sorry to say it, but our ancestors are from here.
Right.
Yeah,
Now, if you do find an
You ain't gonna
African,
get off that soapbox. You ain't
If
gonna
you-
get off that soapbox.
well, if you do find an African, guess what you can do? Do the math. One African has a baby from an American woman. They have a child that has a child with another American. 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 What is this child?
American. Exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna take you deeper though. I'm gonna take y'all deep for a second here. Have y'all ever recognized the beat of a drum? Have y'all ever thought about the beat of a drum? Okay, you look at Africa. Africa has the beat of a drum. Yeah, you know, they have a beat and a sound. And Native American, they have a beat. You know what I'm saying? The beat of one drum. Have y'all ever thought about that? Now, they don't got no beat or no drum in Europe when they came over here.
Wait a minute. Hold up. We was in Europe, so let's get it facts.
Well, I'm just saying when the Spanish.
You got to remember, Europia was an African woman.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Europe is Africa. Let's get the facts straight. Europe is not no continent. That's Africa.
Right. This is what I'm saying though. What I'm meaning is when the colonizer came over here, he didn't have no drum to beat to. We already had a drum we was beating to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come over here. He just confused our drum. You know what I'm saying? He confused our drum to where we didn't know our beat no more. You know what I mean?
Well, he came over here as a germ. I can say this 1,000 times. Why? Okay. Let me tell you what happened. The coronavirus came when they came over here. They are the coronavirus, all right? Now, we've been able to live with them for a while. Sometimes we wasn't able to live with them. But overall, just being around them made us sick, very sick for a very long time. It killed off a whole bunch of us.
Yeah, they brought diseases and famines and all that.
Yeah, because they was nasty. They slept with their animals.
Yeah.
They animals, they slept with them. So you know they was nasty. And then the Africans or the Moors said they taught them how to wash their ass. And when they got over here, we like, hold on, these niggas still nasty. Y'all ain't teach them shit. You can't say them folk out here that was nasty as hell. Huh?
Notice y'all teaching American history and not United States history.
This is the great cleansing, man. We still trying to clean them up, man.
Man, a 94-year-old told me that I played it. You guys probably seen it.
I seen it.
We asked him, we said, well, when the first time you heard of slavery? And he was 94. So, I mean, we talking about between him, his grandmama, and his great-great-grandmama that he known all his life and heard a lot of stories because they didn't have TV and phones to be manipulated from other people. And the stories that he said the first time he heard of slavery was roots. And then we laughed and then we asked him, we said, do you think that we can separate and break away from the Europeans? And he said, it's too late. He said, it's too late. He said, we are we already didn't we done bred it with these folks for hundreds of years now. So he was like, we mixed in now. We all mixed in. He's like, he said it's too late now. And this is coming from a 94-year-old, all right, and speaks very well, very bright man. And he was just talking about how they used to put their clothes on. If you wanted to work on the cotton fields, you can go across town and work on the cotton fields. He was like, it's just like working at the plant today. He said it was no difference. He said, you see people go to work at a plant, they worked the cotton fields just like they did, like they work a regular warehouse job today. That's what he told us. He said it was no different. And when none of his folks slaves neither. He said when none of his folks slaves.
I remember that. I heard him say it out of his mouth.
So it's like what we've been listening to all these years. I'm 41. I turned 41 a couple of days ago, July 2nd.
Happy old birthday, old.
Oh, my birthday Sunday, boy. No wonder you so crew cut cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is out of 40 years of thinking I'm from Africa, thinking all my connections in life was either dealing with the Bible, praying, making sure I go to heaven, trying to do all this right shit and stuff. Come to find out all that shit was put in place to manipulate us, to control us, to blackbird us, to coerce us to us to do all these things that to build up this nation for them, and not for ourselves.
That's why they want us out so bad.
They want you out because they know if you leave, you leave the land. See, what happened was, if you look, I gotta find the information of when they left Europe. It was some type of thing the king did. He marked them all dead. He marked all those white folks dead to where they couldn't come back and claim their land and stuff. They marked them dead, okay? But if you was able to send something back and let them know you touched down and you was still alive, or you went back and stuff like that, you was able to fight for your stuff back, because you was like, hey, I'm here. I made it. I'm not dead. You get what I'm saying? But they didn't have no way to call and say, yo, bro, we made it, da-da-da-da. So they marked those folks dead.
Because it was punishment to come over.
But that's what they about to do to us. Once you go to Africa and go and get settled in right then, they gonna mark niggas dead over there and be like, they at their home, and close the borders. So just think if they would have had a going back home to Ghana, you get 100,000 niggas to go back to Ghana, and then coronavirus, the borders closed, you can't come back.
Hey, yo, do you know what they really be doing out of Africa though? Capitalism at its finest. You know what I'm saying? They take
capitalism. Yep.
Yeah, they take resources out of Africa, man.
But who got the most resources? Tut. Let's get to this. I like that. I like to hear this one.
Yeah.
Who has more resources and minerals and stuff than where we at right now?
Right. So when you control the land, you control them resources.
That's right.
So we don't control our lands here, and we
lost them. We lost them all, and right now, if you don't get back and find out who you are, we will lose all of it. All of it. We will lose the notion to even say this was our land if we don't get our shit right.
Right. True indeed.
I see why you pushing this movement so hard, Crew Cut.
Yeah, man.
This is what it is.
We got no choice right about now. It's like we've been following other fascists and groups for hundreds of years. Check this out. Hebrew Israelites and the Moors, they came along at the same goddamn time. They was in the same building. One half of this side was Moors and this side was Hebrew Israelites, and they were signing people up. Now, they had 100 years to get their shit together, because they got their 501c3s in 1913 or 1914. When 501c3s, the year 501c3s came about, them two organizations got their 501c3s. So from then to now, which would be 107 years,
nothing.
What has they done to benefit us?
Nothing.
Wait a minute.
I'm listening. Come on.
I'm listening.
I can't say that because you don't kill Noble Jew Ali for a reason. He didn't die for nothing.
Well, his mama was Indian, and You know
He
what
from
I'm saying?
North Carolina. He from North Carolina.
Right, right. His mother was Indian. They says his mother is Indian. So
Right.
how
He
you
from
go
North
from
Carolina.
he
He
was
didn't claim. He didn't claim his ancestry
he
correctly.
killed his grandmama, bro. He forged 2 books together. Which
Yep.
books was that? The Quran and the Torah.
Yep.
It wasn't the Torah. Was it the Torah? I know they pushed 2 books together.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the Quran and the Torah. It's all Semitic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he killed off his ancestry to his home.
That's right.
Right.
And
Right.
he took it on a religion from somewhere of not
Right.
of here. That is right.
Make you think you other than yourself. You know what I'm saying? We are the originators of this land. You know what I'm saying? The old Mekshi of this land. You know what I'm saying? We held this fort, you know, forever. We've been here forever. You know what I'm saying? So we, you know, them pyramids didn't run empty like that. We still was here.
Wait a minute, the pyramids are completely finished too.
Right. True indeed. True indeed.
I mean, some say Islam was here before anything. It was here way.
Islam only
Man,
goes
that's
back
like
to your
1,500
ancient
years,
times, man.
buddy.
That's the Eastern stuff, man. You know,
That's
like I said.
1,500 years. 1,500.
Listen, man.
Christianity 2,000, brother.
2,000. Right. All of that. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all of those are Semitic. They are from the Eastern of that. Even talk about the Bible of Noah, Ham, and Shem.
But hold on.
Wait a minute, now let me explain this.
Go ahead. Yeah, you smart. Go on, break it down.
Yes. Now, so when you go to language, the origination of language from man when he took writing across the globe. When writing went across the globe, there was a universal understanding. That's why you have temples in reverence to the sun, moon, and stars. You know what I'm saying? And so man wrote his name. So the first man's name is known to the ancients and to us to this day. If you can research and get your understanding of written language into your resonance of yourself. And so they mix us up and speak about Christ and Jesus and all this other Eastern stuff when the Christ-like nature, you know what I'm saying? It's an embodiment of an ancient being. And we are those ancient beings.
Hold up. Let me interject. I gotta interject.
Let me finish. We are those ancient beings that they showed reverence to. You know what I'm saying? In all of the belief systems that they created. We are those ancient beings.
You are correct. But I wanted to interject where you was at before you entered. That's why I said, let me interject.
Yeah.
When King James came to Virginia, did you know King James came to Virginia?
Yeah, because that's what Jamestown is named after him.
Okay. Yeah, King James came to Virginia. I'm trying to pull this up so y'all can see me before I say this. All right, boom. King James came to Virginia. Stayed here for 6 years, 6 to 9 years, something like that. No more than 9 years. Stayed for 6 years. Checked out how we was living. Now, if you was read, there was a lot of fussing and fighting over plantation. Folks trying to get that check. So he goes back to Europe, ordered them to write that book, and then comes the first book in Algonquin to America. All right. So the whole time the book was just written to what? He seen what we was doing. He seen how we was getting down and was like, oh, I got to get these brothers. I got to get, we need this over here. These folks is beautiful. They smart, they strong, but they don't know, you know, we wasn't on that finessing game that they came with, right? They know how to work the land over here. They fucks with us. So that Bible is what enslaved us, my brother.
Facts.
But go ahead, Tut. Go ahead and finish, Tut.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because it enslaved us, it reversed us, and made us believe in something other than ourselves, not knowing who we are. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones that they came to revere, to look up to, who we stood strong. You know what I'm saying? We are the rulers and natives of this land. And that's why when they created that dollar, that's why they said, in God we trust, because they knew it was us. You know what I'm saying? We were the people of this nation and the supreme characteristics that travel around the globe, you know what I'm saying, of dominant intelligence. And we are the supreme beings of knowing the sun, moon, and stars, you know what I'm saying? Man, woman, and child of all of this nature, you know? So when we don't know ourselves, we're showing reverence of an independence on the 4th of July when we haven't even learned how to become independent of ourselves, of this nation that they built. You know what I'm saying? Of this government that they usurped. And the independence should be of us claiming our stuff. Like, I love what Coach does, you know what I'm saying? He even took me into another parallel of thought, you know what I mean? And from that, you know, it's a unified understanding. Like I say, I mean, like, we are native to this land, and I know my ancestry, even from my governmental last name of the Census Bureau of Little John. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a big clan.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? That
From
name
Little
right.
John to John's sons. All right,
John's son,
okay.
Little John.
Little John to John's sons.
Right. True indeed. You didn't mess with Big John.
Actually, that's one thing we might need to do something on, is just last names, surnames.
I got surnames for every state over there on No Grandma Killers. Tasha She has been going. She did South Carolina. She did Georgia. I think she did Alabama. She did about 5 states. Or you can go on Tasha She page on YouTube where she does surnames and tell you how to, you know, how they got there, if they migrated from somewhere. She breaks down the surnames. That's what I was telling you earlier, Brian. When you talk about history, you have to get Tasha She, my brother.
Yeah, her name says a mountain full.
That's right.
We're gonna have to get him on here one day, man. You got to
We'll set it up. You came over there and visited us. We had a good time with you.
Yeah, that was pretty good though. I ain't gonna lie. There's many times that I was trying to get off and I couldn't, because it's like y'all kept sucking me back in. But
hey, let's meet up. Let's meet up down there, man. Taj got a restaurant, man. I'm finna go to Taj restaurant down there, man. We need to meet up down there, man. Free time is B time. You know what I'm saying?
Taj.
Wait a minute, Tosh and them not down in the area where you at, are they?
No. She's not around me nowhere. No, I'm the only one down here.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I got Callie, my homeboy Callie, who do all the videos and stuff. He's down here. That brother's dope with the camera.
I want to go to Taj restaurant. That's what I'm going to. So I'm gonna be coming down that way, crew. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to hit Taj restaurant up, you know, because I know Taj putting some lickety splicking on that. You know what I'm talking about? So I want to go taste flavors, man. I love to go. I love to go everywhere and taste the cuisine everywhere I go. So yeah, I'm coming down that way. I'm be hollering at you.
I'll be looking for you.
True indeed.
Jerome, talk to me, man.
Oh, you got Coachella's on here.
Yeah.
For some reason, he don't have the other one on there. That's why.
Yeah, I was looking for crew cut bridges.
He probably gonna have to save you.
This Coachella. Coachella is when they kick crew cut bridges off. I go to Coachella because Coachella is the last straw. That's what this brother named Doodoo, he used to always call me. I know that's a tough name, Doodoo, James Lane, but yeah, he has. Hey, that dude has great content. He's on YouTube. I work with him all the time. His name is Doodoo Vision, and the reason why I call him Doodoo because it's almost like, you know, like at the construction site, ain't no work about to get started until what they call it, the porta potty hit it. When that porta potty get out there, you know you know they about to get some work done, right? That's what he told me anyway when I was asking him about his name. And if you look at his work that he does, the brother always dropping great gems. He might have short videos, 1 minute, 2 minute videos, but everything he do is a meaning to it. He's just not doing a video just to do a video. So shout out to Doodoo Vision. Yeah, so check him out when you get a chance. But yeah, man, this is what we do all day, every day. The momentum has picked up. We're getting lots and lots of more people. We are the tour has been, like I said, it's been fantastic. We sat there and did genealogy for hours. Everybody that came was able to sit down and get genealogy done and get past humps and a lot of stuff. So
Wow.
it was a very great um
You didn't make that
thing.
trip up north, man.
Well,
I gotta come up that way.
we're gonna be up in North Carolina, Virginia, Texas. We're gonna be every so many days, we're gonna be somewhere else getting this done. Only problem is
I'll make it up to Virginia. I'll come up.
COVID's been making it hard for us. The only problem we got is COVID.
Hey yo, COVID, we got main scares of it, man. But I mean, like you say, man, we've been living amongst this poison, man, for a minute. So we can't let that kill us. But the only thing is a lot of ways for us to accommodate and move around since business has been shutting down. That's been what's affecting us. You know what I mean? It ain't COVID itself. It's the ramifications from COVID. Well, the business has been shutting down, and ways for us to accommodate and do certain things. It has our travel limited to a certain extent.
Well, I got a question. I know this way off topic. What we gonna do about this black on black crime?
Is it still going on?
What?
This ain't gonna never stop.
What?
Exactly.
He said this is still going on.
The reason, but you gotta understand what's the reason why it's happening.
Yeah, ain't nothing to do.
Wait a minute. Somebody got a question. Hey, you say you're gonna be in North Carolina. Where at in North Carolina?
I don't have the time. I don't have the date. But if you can just keep up with me, just add me on Facebook. You will always see it. I post religiously. Okay, I will always update you and let you know what's going on. So all you have to do is just add me, or go to YouTube. No Grandma Killers on YouTube. I'm American Indian versus, because anytime I hear somebody giving some BS or going against the Indian, that's when I come out. But you got Crew Cut Bridges on Facebook. No Grandma Killers, Wild Feathers on Facebook. We do a lot on Wild Feathers on Facebook. We are building with like-minded people everywhere we go. So that's the main reason why this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because we and everywhere we go, it's gonna, we're having great vibes. Well, the last one was the first one, but we've been having great vibes. Everybody's been getting along, no issues, and that's how it should be.
True indeed. True indeed. True indeed.
Let's get back on this topic you just threw this bomb at, because we have to understand this whole black on black crime is a survival. Everybody's surviving. If you think about it, if you ain't got no jobs and got no way to make no income, what do?
What killing somebody at the gas station got to do with your survival?
I got you, but also think about this. Post-traumatic stress. If you don't heal from it, everything you do, you take it out on the people that's close to you. You take it out on anybody.
You hit it there. PTSD. I talked to a doctor the other day, and I was asking him about it. I said, I showed him the video of somebody getting killed in a gas station, and it was children, like 4, 5, and 6, walking by these guys while they're having a few words. And the dude just upped the pistol and just started clack, just the blickety, blickety, blickety. You get what I'm saying? Right there in front in the store. And you know how small a Shell gas station is, y'all. Y'all know this is the smallest store in the world. And I was traumatized just knowing that them children was in there when he shot that man 3, 4 times or whatever. So it's just like, okay, we're going to have to do something now as a whole, because Black Lives Matters only come out when it's police kill us or injustice on us. That's what Black Lives Matters come out. Don Lemon made that clear yesterday, that if black on black life, black people kill black people, we are not coming. That is not, if you want to start something, you start us something for that. But we only deal with the police and injustice. That's what Black Lives Matter, that's what Don Lemon said. So black people need to stop looking for Black Lives Matters to nut up every time we get senseless killings. Last weekend, we had 6 children killed, 5 years old, 6 years old, 2 6 years old, 2 8 years old, I believe, and it was 1 11-year-old, somewhere in there. That was snuffed out by senseless killings, folks just shooting just to be damn shooting.
That's it. They
So,
just to be just shooting.
right.
Hey,
They've been listening to music so long. I shoot a nigga, shoot a nigga, shoot. Boy, I'm
yeah.
a banger,
Hey,
nigga. I'm a banger.
I want
Go ahead.
I want to say something though. I mean, I don't know if all of us are familiar with, but we all should get an understanding of are we all aware of how the sun, moon, and stars affect our being? Now,
So
being
basically, you have to master yourself to not be affected at what you're saying, right?
okay, well, see, like being an Native American here, you know what I'm saying? We were in unison with the sun, moon, and stars. You know what I'm saying? So that we knew what time it is, basically. You know what I'm saying? So being at the times that we in, the mind frames of some of the youth, you know, the music influences they have, you know, it's all about that money. It's all about that money, you know, and money has driven us, you know, to many lengths. And the scarcity of it now is even driving us, you know, with the corona and the pandemic. We having more time to focus on BS now, and we're not capitalizing in the times it was. For example, Nat Turner. Nat Turner wanted to start the slave revolt because he thought it was what was it? Eclipse.
Oh, you talking about when he yeah. He waited
So
the eclipse was the sign for
And
exactly.
that's from the movie, right?
That's from the movie, but I'm showing that in reference to how the native man of this land recognizes the time it is by the sun, moon, and stars. You understand what I'm saying? And so during certain periods and times, people react certain ways, and people have a unison or a certain unison to each other, to where, like I say, only the strong survive. You know what I mean?
Right now, it's the weak survive, the smart survive now.
Exactly.
It ain't the strong no more. You can be the strongest one and get your head blown off by the weakest brother in the room.
Right. So the strong is inevitably the smartest. So the smart survive, and that's the strong. You know what I'm saying? That's the strong. So when you understand strength isn't always physical. It's mostly mental. You know what I mean? Like Denzel say, this is chess, not checkers. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand our strength of our mentality and let the mind use the physical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know, when you talk about that, when they taught evolution in the 1800s, it was not the strong survive. That's not what they said. What they said is the fittest survive.
Right. Yes, right. Survival of the
fittest. And the fittest was talking about intelligence. And that's why they would constantly bang into you that black people were not intelligent. And they wouldn't survive because they're not the fittest. But when he was talking about black on black crime, all crime is about vicinity. You know, who's in your vicinity. And we live on each other. So black on black crime is kind of a misnomer just to even use the word.
I just said it because we killing ourselves at a high rate right now.
High rate. And that's what we got to look at. We got to look at what I'm saying. But listen, B, how we do it.
Go ahead.
How we do it as a community and what we see with the police or what we see anywhere, it's all about how we value the indigenous life. That's what it really comes down to. You know, when Coach was talking about the 90s music, that was just to condition you into taking the value out of women, taking the value out of your life, taking the value out of the life of somebody.
It was a test. That's right.
You know, so we've been conditioned to devalue ourselves. You know, when you look at, and I can't speak for any other race, but when races look at each other, you know, they assign a value to life. That's why when if you have to say Black Lives Matter, don't that mean there's no value to it? That you even have to say that?
Yeah, but that's how they've been looking at us anyway.
I'm saying that's conditioning.
So, and they're continuing in the propaganda of the black, and they're pushing it. That's why you got so many white folks doing it. You thinking that white folks are just here for? No, they're not. They're getting their agendas pushed, and they're keeping you in check, keeping you in place.
Yeah, and you thinking about what they think of you. You got to know who you are.
Value.
Black Lives Matter. Black means nothing. Black
Right.
has no value. Read
Right.
Look in the dictionary and see what black means.
Look at the synonyms for black. Hey, Trump told them the other day to go do your history. He told Black America to go back and look into your history. Why would a president will have to tell a whole entire race to go back and look and do more history on you? Go do more history and find out who you are.
Wait a minute, Crew Cut. That nigga don't know his own history, so you can't.
Hey, hold on. You don't think when that man was up saying, I can show the clip. You know I can.
No. I've got what you're saying.
That man
He's
can tell
saying
you.
It's kind of like prophetic the way he does it, because he really don't know what he be saying, but it means something.
How you don't when you a billionaire trying to, wait a minute, hold on. How you don't, let me put myself on this camera. How he don't when he owning casinos in the 80s, they had him in there fighting over the Indians, and what he tell them folks? Them folks ain't Indians.
Right. They don't look like
Indians to me. They don't look like Indians to Indians. This man knew what he was saying. So somebody had to tell him, like, look, hold on, bro. You got a problem with them Indians? Them ain't really Indians. Let me show you. And when he seen that, he took it to court, bro. He took it to court.
He did. And that was his words. They don't look like Indians.
They don't look like Indians. So now for him to come back, and now he's the president, and now they saying like, yo, what do Africans need to do? African Americans need to do? And he like, yo, he said first, African Americans need to do their history and find out who they are, some shit like that. Bro, that's like the heaviest hitter that anybody like, wait a minute, let me find out who I am, because all you can do is go regurgitate what somebody else told them. But can you go up there and tell them, well, my mama's mama was from over here? See, when you do that, that debunks everything.
True indeed. When you know thyself.
And we've been saying that for years.
I agree with you.
We've been saying that for years. Know thyself. I passed the mic.
Hey, yo, that's you can't say it more clearer, man.
I agree. That's all I got.
Man, know thyself, man, and that's what it's written in stone. It's written in dirt. It's written on paper. You know what I'm saying? And all the person got to do is read and research and study, and you can see the trail, man. So it ain't like it's really hidden. It's just that motherfuckers ain't reading and studying and learning. They're going on what somebody else told them. They ain't seeing for themselves by researching the paperwork. And that's why they got us in that paperwork, scribbling through language. You know what I mean? So that intelligence is what we is. Intelligence is what we is, man. We are the thought manifested.
It's heavy indoctrination, though. I mean, think about it. We go to school, and they completely indoctrinate us to believe in something that's not even true.
Right, but we go to
history. Yeah, but when you study your history, what history you gonna go to? What you learned in school? Because you know no better.
I didn't study that history.
No, I'm not saying you, but majority of the people, that's what they're gonna You know what I'm saying? And that's just facts. They're
Yeah.
gonna go by what they was taught in school.
Yep.
They
So
ain't
you,
gonna sit there and open up a book and say,
Hey,
all right,
here I come.
yeah,
Hey, I gotta go, brothers. I gotta go,
all
brothers.
right.
You know what I'm
Peace,
saying?
cut. Peace, tech.
Yeah,
peace out.
yeah.
We
I
get up.
catch up with y'all fellas, man. Definitely, man. You know, we'll put it back together, man. I hate I gotta depart, man. I got a little prior.
Yo, do you, bro? Do you, man?
Yeah. One love, brothers. One love, brothers. Y'all carry on.
All right, peace
All right,
out.
now.
Peace, bro. Peace.
But that's facts, crew cut. How can we learn our history if who's teaching it?
Well, first,
But
all we got to do, the most important history that we need to learn at this very moment is who you are, not who your friend is, not who the teacher is, who you is. Because you got different lines. When you go back 5 generations, we had 128 grandparents. Let's start there. Let's locate all 128 of them and know their names, where they lived at, and what they did. Let's find them folks. But you go down that matriarch line and find out who you are. You're not gonna mess up on that one.
Tell you what, I need who I need to do with it.
Ain't you down at 1820? Where you at? B? Where we at with you?
I can pull it up right now if you want it.
No, I'm saying look, I need to get this. But I'm saying though, where was we at? I think 1826.
Yeah, I'm in the 18s. All directions.
Okay, so 1826. You need to take that name where you at and focus on that person. Don't be trying to find, I mean, you can still find her mother, but I would focus on her. Because if you before, like, where was she at? In South Carolina, Georgia? Where she was at?
Everything is in South Carolina.
South Carolina, okay.
Everything is in South Carolina. On
So
both sides of the family, everything is in South Carolina.
You need to find out when they started calling them colored. You get what I'm saying? When they took them from they tribal names. Take her last name, her surname, and go on probably Tasha She page, and when she did South Carolina, I think it's either on No Grandma Killers or on her page.
I think it's on her page because I was watching it and I stopped and I'm gonna go back.
Did you see it, Did you see that name? That 1926 name? Huh?
I didn't finish it.
See, that's easy work for you right there. That's easy work for you to find out who you are. All you gotta do is sit there. Oh, wait a minute, let me find out what tribes is in South Carolina. Oh, I got a map. You can buy a map for me too. You know what I'm saying? I got all the Aboriginal tribe names on them. So it's a lot that you can do to make this easy for yourself. Now, Phoenix and Tasha are about to start webinars for group genealogies, helping people get past roadblocks. Some people that made it back to pre-colonial. You get what I'm saying? Like, wow. So, like, you already at 1826 and you ain't even got started yet. You just, boom, we there.
She did. Phoenix did say she gonna help me out. So
see, there you go. So all you got to do is just stay consistent. Try to learn them names that you already have and learn about those people. Find out what they had and where they was at. They might have had everything and lost it somehow, but you won't know until you learn more about those people. Treat your ancestors more than just names, and a lot of people do that. It's like, okay, I found this one. I got to find the next one. It's not paying that ancestor no attention. You got to try to figure out what was going on.
Facts.
That's how you get in tune with you. Look up, they got the newspaper articles. You can pull up you can just pull up a name, and anytime this name was found in a newspaper from back in the day, it'll come up online. You know what I'm saying? Check them out. And they go by years, states, cities. It's a lot. That's how I found out when I found out that my grandfather was murdered. It was my great grandfather. And it was in the newspaper, Chicago newspaper. He was murdered on Vincennes, 111th and Vincennes, like 113th and Vincennes. And I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for the paper. I'm still trying to dig in more, but I wouldn't have known that. So it's good to find out who your people are. Now I knew what houses he owned and what happened to him. And you get what I'm saying? You get to dig into your people and find out more about you. oh, no wonder I do this. My great-great-granddad used to always do this. Oh, he owned the bar. Well, I own a bar. Damn, he owned the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You might find out you're doing the same thing your ancestors was doing right now. So they say if you was a PH back then, you're probably a PH right now. If you was a good guy back then, you're probably a good guy right now. You kind of get what I'm saying? I'm just trying to say, you know.
I don't
You get
know.
what I'm saying.
I got too much fight in me right now.
You probably had a lot of fight in you back then.
Got a lot of fight. So, but at the same time though, that's where this black on black crime is because of lack of knowledge of who we are. Because if we realize who we are, we'll start respecting ourselves, one another. And
True.
and this is where the tribal thing comes together. And I mean, until then, we're gonna have this because we lost. We lost in the mental state of mind that we don't know who the hell we are, and we don't constantly gonna keep fighting. We're fighting each other just because we don't know what the hell to do. We lost. So basically, that's what it is. You stepped on my shoes. I got to kill you. Why? I don't know. I'm just doing stupid shit.
Right.
That's what it is. I'm just.
But think about that, B. If I step on your shoes and you kill me over some shoes, then what did you value more? You value the shoes more than the life.
Especially if you step on my Jordans, I got to take care of you. No, I'm just fucking with you.
No, I'm just saying. That's how we've devalued the indigenous man so much.
No, we devalue ourselves because we don't care about ourselves.
You're indigenous, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We devalue the indigenous man.
But at the same time, they don't know who they are. Our kids are lost.
Somebody knows because they taught you to devalue it.
And this is where schooling is not helping our children. Period. The indoctrination of what they do to us destroys us because I got to get them. Look how early they get us kids in. Now they get them at the age of 3. Age of 3, and then boom, I got them. Boom, you have to go to school. Drop out of school and see your parents don't get locked up.
Right.
Is it that damn important? Is it
right.
that damn important?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now we have to understand what's really going on because I can teach you some bullshit history. I'm going to test you on that bullshit history. And you have to learn this history every year. They teach the same shit every year. What do you learn different in history? You might know math different, but what do you learn differently in history?
Nothing.
They history.
But it's the same shit, just on different levels.
They didn't find out nothing new. Exactly.
So, but at the same time though, it comes on to me and you. Because this is what we have to teach our kids who they are.
Right.
And listening to Crew Cut, I mean, I'm even glad that we talking to this brother and this movement that he's on, you know, it's powerful. And just being on that platform with y'all that day, man, it's like I came in and you happened to be talking about that situation, about that killing, and I just come in and an hour and a half later, I'm looking at I'm just like, man, I gotta go to sleep because, dude, we deep into this, man. But at the same time, though, we gotta that's why I wanted to break down his history. But at the same time, I didn't know we wanted to teach our history or the truth, or are we teaching this United States history?
Right.
Between American history and United States history.
And world history.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back to what we are. This platform is what we're going to be, and we're going to keep keeping it real. We're going to keep it real. Hey, Crew Cut, when the next time y'all on?
Man, we might be on tonight. You know, we do this thing all day, everything. I might be on all night tonight. We on West Coast time. We got American Indian Mac out in California. Got to build with him tonight. You know, and then we got another brother named Copper Color K. He's from Cali. Well, he's staying in Cali. I don't know if he's from Cali or not, but so we got a lot of brothers from the West Coast that I've been working with. We everywhere right now. That's why I'm saying this thing is building fast. When you start pulling up in people's spots and they see and you out there helping them for real, folks will come join your walk with you, and it just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And my goal is to show the difference of knowing who you are versus playing who you are.
I feel you. And this is where history is important.
True indeed.
Very.
History is basically, for us black people, that's what we need, number one, because it start healing you in more ways than one. Because I can testify, because being somebody who deal with post-traumatic stress, when I get to dealing with history, it's healing for me. It's healing for me. And to be on a platform that we build and we growing, you know, I feel like we connected to Crew Cuts, this movement that they're doing. You know, everything about our life is changing in different aspects. And
my game plan is to show you, when you find out who you are, the difference it will make versus all these other fashions that's been going on. That's
Right.
it. Because it's a lot of fashions out here that's keeping us divided. Why do, when people go to church on Sunday, they get up, put their pants on, ride past 100 churches just to go to that one church? If they believe the same religion, why they all just don't go to the same church in that community and just build? But
Right.
instead, everybody want to do it different and do this and do that and do this because it's not real. Now, if we was all going by our bloodline, hey, and we tied into our bloodline, what we would be doing is trying to find out and resurrect our culture and who we are. That's what we'll be doing. And then we'll be getting back to self. Then I won't be calling you that light-skinned brother. I'll be calling you that Creek brother, or that Tuscarora, or that Algonquin, or whatever. I'll be calling you by your tribal name.
it's funny though, because you know, my wife, you know, when she was telling you what tribes that she part of, dude, that's the first time I ever heard her say that shit.
Oh yeah, we talk with them all the time. We know all about them joints.
But for her to say that day, that's the first time I ever heard that. And I'm sitting here looking at her like.
But they know. That's the thing. They know.
It makes me feel bad because I don't know, and this is my land.
See, you have history that was forced on. See, you got some people know the history that was forced on them, the history that their mama them told them. You get what I'm saying? So that's what you want, because then they know, like, okay, this is what they tell us, and this ain't what they tell you because it's conditioned. Oh, this is what everybody go by. But if you get personal with somebody, they'll be like, oh, no, I'm Arawak, or I'm Taino, or you get what I'm saying? Because when they got there, that's what they saw. He thought, I'm trying to tell you, them folks thought them folks was Africans when they seen them. And then we got proof that they was shipping them back and forth from the islands to the mainland. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's blackbirding. You blackbirding folks. You telling them they from Africa. That's blackbirding.
Right.
So those big words that y'all need to really look up. Non-descendable. That was a heavy one. And blackbirding. Check them out.
I will.
I know y'all boys about to fall out. It's about to be 10 o'clock.
All right, get your last words in, man. Well, Crew Cut.
Well, that's all I got to say. Don't be a grandma killer. At the end of the day, go find out who your people are. Dig them roots, and it's only bloodline. It's only bloodline. That's all it is. So go do that before you start jumping off the boat and jumping on the boat, going other places, giving up all your land, giving up your birthrights and everything else. Just find out who you are before you do all this crazy stuff. If you need any help, You can look us up. You got any questions? You can look us up. No Grandma Killers on YouTube, Facebook. It's me, Coach Crew Cut Bridges, Tasha She, and Phoenix Moon. Tasha She and Phoenix Moon. I just replayed it because somebody's phone went off. But yeah, you can hit us up. Just check out the content. Any questions, posts. Check out. We coming to every city near you in not every city, but we're coming to every state. And we're gonna help the people in that city and state and get a better time. Oh, another place. Another people, I know I'm getting tired because I'm stumbling over my words. Autonomous Assembly, they will help you with programs through the government, especially people that's living in projects, Section 8 housing. If you live in Section 8, you automatically qualify for all these government programs that they're not telling you about. Check that out as well. We do bills on that. So basically, we're just all about solutions and getting the people back right. And get them from all this bullshit that we got going on.
All right. Go ahead, Jerome.
Nah, man, just check back. Like he said, I mean, that encapsulates everything we're talking about. Look back at your history, find out who you are, find out what's yours, find out what you have rights to, find out what you deserve. You know, once you find value in yourself, I think, in my opinion, Coach, I think that would help with the black on black crime. You know, just finding the value within yourself and finding the value within others. Is you gonna say something? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do a bill just on that. I'm trying to find a solution that can change the whole mental thought of us going through this in our communities because it's that important. I think it's more important now. If they want to fix any injustice anywhere else, we have to fix our own issues and then demand whatever it is we want. If we killing ourselves, I don't think we can really demand anything because they're gonna be like, y'all got y'all own problems. We don't want to hear y'all. You get what I'm saying? So we got to get our own shit straight. We got to get our own house fixed. We got to get grandma's house straight. Then we'll be able to go and demand because we'll be straight. We'll be together.
Right.
You're right.
That's going to be the hardest fight is against ourselves.
And that's where know thyself is that important. Again, this is that three-headed monster. We do have our own podcast. This is our podcast, but we are also on YouTube on the three-headed monster. You know, the icon is, damn it. What's the icon? Dude, it's late, man. I'm sorry. What's the name of them? Oh man, I forgot the name of them. Our symbol. What's the icon? Come on, Jerome, help me out.
Oh, you talking about servers?
Yeah. The symbol of him, and but we also on Podbean, three-headed monster on Podbean. Anytime y'all need anything, man, just if y'all want to get on, or you got any questions, or you want something that us to build on, we gonna keep pushing this, man. Like I said, appreciate you, Crew Cut, for being our own coach. I just glad you even put yourself on this platform and you let us be a part of your platform. I guess that's that alliance that we building.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, y'all good with me. I've been in y'all chat for a minute. I was stalking y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. No. Stop. Whoa. I seen good, like you can see good energy in people, good vibes. Like you can get probably bad vibes from people and then you can get good vibes. I get very good vibes from you brothers. And just keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Appreciate it. All right. It's the three-headed monster. We out.
Peace.
Peace.